Hello, and welcome to 5 Minutes Fluentcast, the podcast that takes you to fluency. Here, you improve your English naturally, listening to real conversations about everyday life. Let's get started. A lot of people imagine that successful people wake up every single morning feeling highly motivated, full of energy, and mentally ready to conquer the world. We often see videos and posts showing extreme routines, waking up at 4 a.m., cold showers, intense workouts, long meditation sessions, and perfectly planned schedules before the sun even rises. But when you look closer, that image doesn't really match reality. The truth is, most successful people don't wake up feeling motivated every day. They wake up feeling human. Sometimes tired, sometimes distracted, sometimes unenthusiastic. What really makes the difference is not motivation, it's routine. Success is much less about doing extraordinary things and much more about doing simple things consistently, especially in the morning when the tone of the day is being set. Today, we're going to talk about the morning routines of successful people, what they actually have in common, and how you can apply these ideas in a realistic way without trying to turn your life upside down.
I really like this topic because people usually expect something extreme or unrealistic when they hear morning routine. They imagine a perfect system that only works if you have unlimited time, discipline, and energy. And because of that, a lot of people feel discouraged before they even try. They think, that's not for me, my life doesn't allow that. But when you study successful people more closely, you realize something interesting. Most of them don't have perfect routines, they have repeatable routines, and that difference changes everything.
Exactly. A lot of people think the key to success is intensity, doing more, waking up earlier, pushing harder. But intensity is exhausting. Consistency is sustainable. Most successful people don't follow rigid routines that collapse the moment life gets busy. They build routines that are flexible, realistic, and stable enough to survive bad days. And one of the most common habits they share is how they start the day. They don't jump straight into reaction mode. They don't immediately open email, social media, or messages. Because the moment you do that, you're no longer in control of your attention. Other people are.
And that's such an important point. Starting the day reacting to messages and notifications puts your brain in a defensive mode. You're not choosing what matters, you're responding to what demands attention. Successful people tend to protect their attention early in the morning because they understand that attention is a limited resource. When the morning starts calmly, the rest of the day tends to feel calmer too, even when things get busy later on.
Another strong pattern you see is clarity. Many successful people take a few minutes in the morning to decide what actually matters that day. Not a long to-do list, not dozens of tasks, just 1 to 3 priorities. This simple habit reduces decision fatigue because you're not constantly asking yourself, what should I do now? You already know. And that clarity creates confidence and focus throughout the day.
Movement is another thing that shows up a lot, but not in the extreme way people imagine. It's not always intense workouts or long training sessions. Often it's just light movement, stretching, a short walk, or a few minutes of physical activity. Enough to wake up the body and send a signal to the brain that the day has started. And that physical signal helps mental clarity too.
Something else that really stands out is mental space. Successful people often create a few minutes of silence or reflection in the morning. That might be journaling, prayer, meditation, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of coffee. That mental space helps regulate emotions and reduces impulsive decisions later in the day. When you start the day calmly, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed by small problems.
And I think it's important to say this clearly. Successful people are not trying to have perfect mornings, they're trying to have intentional mornings. They don't rush decisions early in the day because rushed mornings usually lead to reactive days. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is direction.
Exactly. Morning routines don't need to be long or complicated. They need to be realistic. A routine you can repeat consistently is far more powerful than an ideal routine you abandon after a week. And one last important point. Successful people adapt their routines over time. Life changes, energy changes, priorities change. The routine serves the person, not the other way around.
So, morning routines aren't about copying what successful people do step by step. They're about understanding the principles behind those routines.
Structure, clarity, and calm. Small, consistent actions in the morning shape how you think, how you feel, and how you act during the day. And over time, those small choices compound into long-term success. If you want to apply this today, start very small. Choose just one habit for your morning. It could be 5 minutes of planning, a short walk, or avoiding your phone for the first 10 minutes after waking. The goal is not to change everything at once. It's to build a routine you can actually maintain even on tired or busy days.
Remember, consistency beats perfection. One small habit repeated every morning can completely change how your days feel.
Thanks for listening to today's episode.
We hope this conversation inspired you to rethink how you start your mornings.
You don't need to wake up earlier or do more. Just start with intention.
We'll see you in the next episode of Fluentcast.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Fluentcast.
If you enjoyed this conversation and learned something new,
Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
we post new episodes with real English and real ideas about life.
You can also download the PDF with the full transcript of this episode. The link is in the description below.
And here's an important tip. Try listening to this same episode every day for 1 week.
Repetition helps you understand more deeply, notice new expressions, and improve your listening skills.
This is how real learning happens, naturally and step by step.
See you next time.
Bye.